we just hit Bitcoin all-time highs, but we have studios closing up, games reducing scope, and tokens diving. Is this the end of crypto gaming? Well, let's talk about it. Hey everyone, Caveman here. If you've been following the crypto gaming space, it has been a wild ride from the hype cycles back in 2021 to the trenches that we're in the last 3 years or so. And not to mention that we're now in this kind of mixed scene where some studios are unfortunately closing up shop and some others are actually getting financing. So it's a really, really interesting situation, but why is this happening? At the core, there just really hasn't been a breakthrough game in mass adoption. NFTs are still being debated and gamers are critical. To start off, there's that education and expectation problem. Some players and investors saw the Web3 gaming scene as a get-rich path, dumping money into one of the riskiest investments you can make. Players really thought they could retire at 30 to play video games full-time, and it just wasn't realistic. And I even bought into it for some of it. But, it wasn't just that. It was also just how founders were also very convincing of how they would make the Web3 version of X AAA game. And unfortunately, those just have not received the traction that they needed to really meet that expectation. Either they ran short of the funding or the marketing just didn't capture the attention. And I think that is another part of the problem. The genres and markets, they tried to target very tough niches like FPS, MMOs, where not only are there hundreds of other games trying to do the same thing, but these games require a lot of players to fulfill that multiplayer aspect. While I do think these blockchain integration in these genres is great. In fact, I think MMOs has the best use cases for blockchain out of all of them. It might be better, however, to see a single player experience where you can really show off what makes your game special and fun without the need to have an active, filled and optimized server. If I had the money to make a game, I would go for a dark fantasy action RPG. I think this fits within the crypto mindset, and then it would be able to attract gamers that are not in the Web3 scene right now. I mean, look at Expedition 33. That game has absolutely exploded. A small indie team with a small budget destroying the AAA industry. Obviously, there is a bit of competition there as well, but it makes it easier for one fan who really loves your game to start spreading the word and doesn't have to put caveats like the servers are empty in the morning or you need a GTX 10,000 or your computer will melt. And I think Shatterland's announcement follows this path. They believe they will hook players better with a quality single-player experience. We're going to see how it goes, but I also want to note one other game that really kicked off the whole GameFi movement, and that is Axie Infinity. They've survived the longest and are in good standing as of now, and they're going to be pushing an MMO, which I did say is going to be a tough genre to succeed in, but because they're actually established, that is a game I'm going to be watching very close and has the potential to take off. Now, if we just touch back on the funding ecosystem a little bit more, there also was a huge round of investment. Billions of dollars came into the ecosystem, and those VCs are waiting to see the results. And unfortunately, most of them have failed. They're now rethinking putting more money into this industry, especially at that AAA level that they did back in 2021. They need more evidence that this market has matured. Or they're investing into infrastructure and technology levels where it doesn't rely on a single game to pop off. Polemos. Hey, I was watching a video from Solana Accelerate where a founder pointed out how important it is to build a community.
Community is a bitch, right? All these communities members here, right? All these communities members, right? Before the token launch, before the TGE, all these community members, right? Before the NFT mints, but they are gone. The moment that your token is launched, the moment that your token is down bad, right? Even the best founders on earth, right? If the token price is down bad, they are called scammers. They're called ruggers, right? So community is a bitch. But at the end of the day, you love that bitch. Because without that bitch, there's nothing that you can build, right? Because at the end of the day, I think Web3 is all about community. It's almost like it's very annoying on one hand, but it's something that you love on the other hand. It's kind of like how I see my wife, yeah.
But right now, most of these communities, they stay until a token launches or it's in their peak of the hype phase, and then they just leave. The games are not fun enough to keep them. They have no reason to stay other than their bags. He had some other choice words about it, but you guys can watch the video below. Really, really quite entertaining. But the core object is, for one of these projects to succeed, it has to have a strong community. And look, I'm optimistic one of these games will make something fun. A lore that hooks you in gameplay that will excite us. And if you are looking for a community, check out Polemos. We're doing that. We're playing all of these various Web3 games, and we're looking for that gem. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more, and that's all I got. Caveman, see you later. Logging out.